in basic safety, basic occupational safety, I think I've prepared 3 questions that can be asked. Number 1, they might ask you what is symbolic safety signs, or what is a symbolic safety sign. Right. Of course, you can. For you to answer that, you must have an understanding. Because now, if you were to answer in terms of the answers that are provided in the manual or training manual, you might forget one word. Then you will have missed, the context of what is asked or what is required there. The second question that they might ask you is, write or explain 5 categories of safety signs. Write is when you will be writing an exam. Explain is when you will be doing a verbal interview. Of course, I can give you those answers. We have got general warning sign, we have got fire information sign, we've got warning signs that are, or warning sign or information sign, prohibitory sign or mandatory sign, which are regarded as law. I'm just giving that I'm just giving some answers. Those are some of the questions that they can ask you. Now, I've again prepared some questions that has to do with public relations. Now, if you are working or you are contesting for a security post that has to do, with customer relations, whereby you will be confined to be working with huge number of people, you need to be prepared. And one element that you must be prepared for is public relations. These are some of the questions that they might ask on public relations. What is public relation? It is not always that you can find this question. What is public relation? Right. The other question in public relations that they might ask you, give us 2 types of public relations. 2 types of, sometimes they can say, give us or explain 2 types of public relations. Remember, we have got 2 types of public relations. We've got internal public relations and external public relations. Internal is our relationship in the team. As members of the team, you must be able to have working relationship together. You must be able to understand one another. You must be able to communicate amongst the team. If you are fighting as a team, you won't be able to work. External refers to, suppose you are working, I can give you an example, with SPA, you are a security officer, maintaining access control and egress at SPA. Those people that are coming, that are the customers of SPA, they are referred as external people, and that is where external public relation comes into picture. External is my relationship with people that are coming in that designated place, for obtaining a certain service. They might ask you, explain or give us 2 types of public relation. Right. Sometimes they might ask you to explain and differentiate between the difference between internal public relations and external public relations. Right. In most instances, in most questions, in most interview, this is one question that they might ask. When dealing with public, what quality or requirements must an officer have or display You understand? That is likely going to be asked in most of the interviews. You must be able to tell the panel the qualities of an officer who deals with public. These are some of the answers. You must be smartly dressed. You must display a professional attitude. You must be able to communicate effectively. You must have a reasonable. You must be a compassionate person who is moved with compassion. You must always demonstrate good manners and maintain good. You must demonstrate and maintain good manners at all times. You don't have to memorize it. You must understand it for you to express it to the panel freely. This is one question that they might. One question that they can ask is, write or explain the reason for poor public relation. They must, especially when you will be dealing with public. This is one question that they might ask you. Right. One question that they can still ask you when we're still on public relations, basic public relations, is how are you required to address the public? You are a public relations officer, you are a security officer. Then how they want to know, the extent on how you are, the capacity that you have to deal with public or to address public. Questions are, you must be calm at all costs, you must be polite, you must refuse to be easily provoked, you must be tactful at all times, you must be diplomatic at all costs, display high level of. These are some of the answers that you can give when you are asked to display, to give to display your level of dealing with public. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the role of security. There's no interview that you can go where you are not going to be asked about the role and function of a security officer. I can bet on it. In every single interview, they will ask you, and for you to answer it in the best possible way, is for you to understand it. To understand it, the way it is. You understand it, you know it, you master it. You will be able to answer it perfectly. I always tell my students, when they or prepare my students, that each time they will ask them, what is the role and function of a security officer? I always take them to answer it in a logical, chronological way. Right. Our role is to protect property. Inside the property, that's how we do it. Inside the property, we have got personnel, presence. That means your role is to protect property, personnel. What are these people, the so-called personnel, what do they do inside the property that they are working under? They are protecting either information or equipment. We always give an example of the bank. The bank is the property, people that are working there, the personnel, the computers that they are using are equipments. And then what is inside the equipment is information. That is how best you can answer that. But I can tell you, in most of the interviews, this is one question that they are going to ask. Right. One question that they can, I don't want us to go for a longer period, because now this might bore you. Please go to Part 2. This is one question that they may ask you. Right. They can ask you, what is security? What is security? I can tell you, I can bet on it. Each time you go for any security job interview, this is one question that they will ask you. The role and function of a security, and what is security? Then let us just answer what is security without even going to the manual. A security is a person who's registered with CIRA. CIRA is Private Security Regulatory Authority, and that person should be a person in good standing, whose responsibilities, again, we are going to the role and function of security, whose responsibility is to protect what? Property, personnel, information, or equipment. That is what a security is. A security officer is a woman, is a man or a woman who's accredited or registered with the Private Security Regulatory Authority, who is a member in good standing, whose responsibility is to guard property, personnel, equipment or information and equipment. I think for now, as our part one of the questions that you are likely going to be asked, let us go for part 2.
I stand guard through the darkest night, watching over with all might, shielding those who cannot fight. Protection is our guiding light.